So I'm going to show you how to make candles out of butter that can be used on bread or to make a really special dish. This is the finished product. This is made out of Kerrygold butter. There's a lot of nuance here. It's pretty difficult, but I'm going to walk through the steps step by step. First, you need a birthday candle mold made out of silicone. I've punched little holes in the bottom here using a big needle. And that's so you can put the wick in and thread it through. I've been using this organic hemp wick. This is made out of hemp and beeswax, so it's totally edible. You're also going to need some nice butter that we're gonna melt. I've cut some of these molds open to make removal easier of the candles. And you probably are going to need pliers to help grab everything and set it up. And the last most important thing is a cleaning brush that can fit through here to get any extra butter out of those molds. So I'll show you the next step as far as inserting the wick, pouring the butter, and letting it set, and then finally unmolding to get your butter candle. Okay, so the next step is inserting the wicks. I'm showing you what it's going to look like here when it's done. So the wick sticking out, that's the top of the candle. Maybe stand from right here. Are you ready?
Uh-huh. Go.
Ready? Go. So this is how it's going to look when the first wick is in. This is going to be the top of the candle right here. And you need two hands. So my daughter is filming me. So this is what one of the wicks looks like. It's cut so it's a little bit bigger than the mold. I have this giant needle. I'm gonna thread it through just a little bit so it's sticking through. And then because I punched holes in the bottom of each mold, you just need to find one of them and it should go right in. And then I'm gonna reach in and grab the end of the needle with my pliers here. Let's see if I can do it easily, which I can't. There we go. Okay. And then I'm gonna just pinch this bottom part so it doesn't come out. So all the wicks are in. I do want to talk about unmolding and how you think about this. So some of these I actually cut a slit in. You can see right there using a razor blade very carefully. It still basically fits back together and works. Then you need to wrap it with a rubber band. I do think it helps with unmolding, but it's up to you if you want to maybe wreck your mold so you can't use it for other stuff. Once you have all of your wicks in, you can use a little small needle and thread it across the top to hold those wicks in place. I'll show you what that looks like when it's done. Okay, so you can see that the wicks have been centered in there using those needles so that they're going straight down. And I also wrapped some rubber bands around here just because, again, I cut some of the molds to make it easier to release. And now maybe just to talk about butter. I've used both supermarket butter here and Kerrygold butter here. The thought was that this would be better, the supermarket one, because it's harder, whereas this is softer. In practice, I think this is actually a little bit better because it has a little more flexibility. It tends not to break coming out of the mold as much. So what I'm gonna do is heat this butter up in the microwave, maybe for like 30 seconds until it's totally melted. And you'll see that the solids separate out from the fat. And those solids, although they taste delicious, really shouldn't be used for this. You could save them for cooking or for eating later. But they tend to have a lot of water in them. They'll be at the bottom of the container. And they make it so the candles break and have these pockets that are not solid enough to unmold. So I'm gonna heat this up and then we'll pour it in. So 30 seconds later, the butter has melted and I'm just letting it sit for about 30 more seconds and you'll see the solids are at the bottom. And it's kind of a little bit clarified. It's not perfect, but just use the stuff at the top, otherwise your candles won't set. I didn't have a mini funnel, so I have this little squeeze bottle top that seems to work fine. So I'm just going to put it in there and then just pour a little bit of this in until it gets to the top. Again, just using the butter that's at the top here. We'll let it fill up. See how we're doing? Overfilled, that's okay. And go to the next one and repeat. I'll show you what it looks like, and then we'll pop it in the freezer set. So this is what it looks like. See, maybe this one's leaking a little bit, which is a reason not to cut it. And these are the solids in the butter. So you can see just that top part was used. Put it in the freezer, and we'll unmold in a little bit, maybe wait an hour. Okay, so I'm gonna take these rubber bands off and take these little needles out. Okay.
Butter.
And now I'll show you one where I cut it. Those two. This one. Okay. I'm kind of loosening it up here. Okay. And then I'm gonna push from this end and grab this, and there we go. Beautiful butter candle. And here's the final 7 candles. Some are a little cracked, but it really shouldn't matter. They still hold up great. And I'll show you the finished product in a piece of bread in a second. This is my final video in the butter candle series. So I just did some testing, so you don't have to. I took a frozen butter candle and put it in a piece of focaccia, cut like a piece of birthday cake. I wanted to see how long it would stay, if it would actually melt at room temperature. The good news is it doesn't. It's totally fine once it's in there. You know, put it in there frozen, and then light it. The other day I tried one from frozen and it's still light. But the problem is you can't spread it on your bread afterwards. So this is what it looks like when it's lit. Other thing to note is it doesn't really drip butter down onto your bread, at least not that much, because it's actually burning the butter as fuel. Still, it is super, super cool. Really nice touch, amazing way to serve butter. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this project and find it as cool and delicious as I did. Enjoy.